And we have seen the big effort that Moldova is doing in order to support, to help, to shelter, to provide food, everything to the 120,000 refugees coming from Ukraine. Most of them leave, but they're still there, about 50,000. The figures are more or less the same that here in Romania. 50,000 Ukrainians are still staying in Ukraine, here in Romania. And we want to express our worries, our sorry, and at the same time our strength, because altogether we are going to support these people. Romania and Moldavia are supporting them because they are receiving them. And we, the European Union, we will do our best in order to provide material means, financial support, apart from the political and diplomatic support, to have them, you, many also, to support this burden. Take into account that along the border of the European Union with Lithuania, it's almost 1 million people in 4 days. You don't to compare these figures with the migration from Syria during the Syrian war in the 15 and 16, the figures are remarkably high and growing very quickly. It is the consequences of the brutal attack of the Russian armed forces against Ukraine. Brutal, using thermal bombs, cluster bombs, which by the way are forbidden by the Geneva Convention. And since they cannot take the cities, bombing massively. There are pictures of houses being destroyed, and the number of the civilian casualties will increase. So it is a good occasion to make another appeal from the international community that expressed very clearly yesterday at the United Nations General Assembly to stop this war. Immediate ceasefire. Stop killing people. We are going to face a difficult situation, but we'll face it because we are united, because support of the European Union to the member states and non-member states, but partners like Moldova, who are in the front line of the problem, is for sure our most important asset. And I came here together with my colleague, the Commissioner Várhelyi, and tomorrow Commissioner in charge of humanitarian help will also come, in order to express our support and explain how this support is being, in practical terms, being implemented. And maybe, Oliver, you can give some figures.
Yes, we, of course, mobilized all the support we could at this moment to help immediately the Moldavian authorities, because the Moldavian authorities have been mobilizing everything in their power, maybe even beyond that, and they clearly need our assistance and contribution. So we have mobilized 15 million euros in immediate help for humanitarian aid and to welcome the refugees arriving from Ukraine, providing shelter, providing beds, providing daily allowances, food, everything they need. And we have an additional 5 million euros which we are mobilizing as part of the civil protection mechanism. And of course, we are also mobilizing our member states to bring additional help. The Moldovan people, the Moldovan authorities, they are really helping the refugees beyond their means, and we need to be there for them. It is also clear that this crisis, this war, which is raging on the other side of their border, is something that we will have to fight together, that we will have to suffer the consequences together, and this is a common challenge, and we are together in this with Moldova. The other part of the discussion was also about the need to continue with the long-term plans that we have together with Moldova. Long-term plans, meaning the economic and investment plan to mobilize 3.4 billion euros of investments, because the country needs growth, the country needs jobs, especially when the dire situation on the other side of the border will deteriorate also and has already started deteriorating the economic and social situation in Moldova. So this is also very important that Moldova continues the work that we have engaged upon, and this is why it was very important to see the President, the Prime Minister, where we agreed that we not only continue working, but we will intensify our joint efforts to help Moldavia to mobilize its economy even faster than we have seen before.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, what happened to the European plan to donate fighter jets to Ukraine? Did it collapse?
It was not an European plan. So member states received the request of providing also this kind of arms, but this will be in any case a bilateral agreement with some member states that may have this possibility, but it has never been in our plan with 500 million euros. There is not the possibility of providing this kind of arms, and we are mainly supporting the Ukrainian army with the basic needs of ammunition, fuel, arms of any caliber, but not jets.
So no more fighter jets?
No more. Where has been the fighter jets?
You have previously announced?
No, some member states received this request and they are installing it, but on a bilateral basis.
Are there any fears about the annexation of Transnistria to Russia?
Yes? Sorry?
Are there any fears about the annexation of Transnistria to Russia?
Transnistria in the eastern part of Republic of Moldova, it's also a frozen conflict there.
Yes, I know.
Is the European
By the
Union
time being, nothing happens in Transnistria, and this is a good moment to try to settle this problem. This is a good moment to restart a negotiation in order to settle this problem with full respect to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Moldova.